Hey everybody, it is Twisty Tuesday, so in honor of that, I am wearing my Yoga Girls Are Twisted shirt, which I think is appropriate. So for those of you who only had me as an instructor in Yoga 101, you may not know what Twisty Tuesday is, so give you a little insight. Sometimes on Tuesdays, and every once in a while on Thursday as well, I would do a class where there were a lot of twists because I think that twists are really beneficial for your spine. So it came to be known as Twisty Tuesday. Some people love it and maybe some people didn't, I don't know. But, you know, with everything that's going on right now, I'm feeling a little twisted up. So I thought it's time for Twisty Tuesday. So here we are. What I have today... Oh, and in case you haven't heard, the mayor has put out another round of stuff. So go check out the City of Lawton's Facebook page, and there should be a post on there. He's implemented a curfew and some other fun little things. So you might want to go check that out just so you know if you're breaking the rule or not breaking the rules, because one of them is one cart, one person, so you can't take your whole family to Walmart anymore or Lowe's or wherever. Okay, so tonight for Twisty Tuesday, I have a purple bolster, I have my blocks, I have a strap, and I have a blanket. And of course, if you have those props, bring them along. If you don't, improvise the best you can. And we'll get started. So let's start tonight by putting a twist on things. We're gonna go ahead and toss this bad boy and see what it comes up with, and it might give me a pose that I hadn't thought about, or it might give me something that I had thought about. Let's see. So here we go. Woo, where will it land? And, oh, one I haven't done in a while. Cobra pose. So that's not really twisty, but we can do it. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with our sun salutations tonight. Sorry, try not to touch my face. It's really hard. I saw a meme today that said if you have a glass of wine in each hand, you can't touch your face. I thought that was appropriate. All right, so let's go ahead and face the wall. We're going to start with our sun salutations, bringing the feet to about hip width apart as we come into mountain pose, Tadasana. Okay, that wasn't enough to... I have allergies really bad. So I apologize for wiping my nose, but I will wash this later. All right, let's come into mountain pose. Start to get our breath. Remembering that when we breathe our deep yoga breath, it's 8 times more oxygen coming into our bodies. Good stuff. So on your next inhale, we'll take the arms up to the sky, interlace your fingers with the index fingers pointing. On the exhale, we're going to bend to the left. And we're going to inhale back to center, exhale, bend to the right. Inhale back to center, separate your hands, soften your knees, and fold forward. Coming into your standing forward bend. Let your head lead you. On the inhale, rise back to standing. Hands come together and into your heart. Step to the wall. Extend your arms. And we'll exhale, bending the elbows, coming down to the wall, and inhale, coming back up. Then on your next inhale, we'll take the left leg back. Just nice deep breaths, lengthening out through the heel. Inhale, stepping up, and inhale, take the right leg back. And again, just keep breathing. Inhale, stepping up, and exhale, walking out into half down dog at the wall. Inhale, back up, push away from the wall. On the inhale, take your arms up. On the exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to the shins. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise back to standing, hands together and down into your heart into Anjali Mudra. On the inhale, sweeping your arms out to the side and up to the ceiling, interlace your fingers. On the exhale, we're going to bend to the right. Inhale back to center, And exhale, bend to the left. Inhale back to center, separate your hands, soften your knees, and fold forward. Let your head lead you on the inhale, rise back to standing, hands come together, and we'll step to the wall. And exhale, coming down. Inhale, pushing back up. And on your inhale, we'll take the right leg back, making sure that that left knee is stacked over the left ankle. I almost said over the right ankle. That would have been a good trick, huh? Lengthening through the heel. Inhale, coming back up. And on your inhale, take the left leg back. Oh, that feels so good. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, walk out into half down dog. Adjust your hands wherever you need to. And inhale, coming up. Push back away from the wall. On the inhale, taking your arms up. On the exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to the shins. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise back to standing. Hands come together and down into your heart. And we'll turn back toward the top of our mats. Coming back into mountain pose. So once again, making sure that you're getting nice deep breaths. Rooting our feet down into the mat. If you need to sway side to side or front to back, feel free to do so. Just finding that place where you have equal weight on each foot, and that's very important. It helps with your posture, it helps to root you down. Just kind of picture roots growing from the bottom of your feet, through your mat, through the floor, and into the earth. That might help you balance in tree pose too. Never know. On your next inhale, taking the arms up, bringing the palms together, stretch. And exhale, fold, soft knees, hands to the backs of the legs, to the mat or to blocks. Or you can come into half standing forward bend with your hands to your shins. Just let your head hang down. Let the knees be soft. If you want to sway or hang heavy in pendulum pose, grab your opposite elbows. And you can just hang like that, or you can move side to side. Think of a pendulum. Just for a few breaths. Then if you are swaying, come back to center. We're going to take one hand to the back of, so your right hand will go to the back of your right leg. The left hand's going to come to the front of that leg. And we're just going to twist to the right a little bit. Keep your knees soft. And keep breathing. And then we're going to exhale through center. Bring both hands to the left leg and twist to the left. Feel that stretch in your side and your back. Then we'll exhale back to center. Let your head lead you on the inhale, rise back to standing. Bring the knees together if you need to. And the arms will come up to shoulder width apart. And the exhale, we're going to sit down into chair pose. My favorite. I'm going to go ahead and bring my hands into prayer so that I'm not obstructing my face. Not that y'all really care, but okay. Back and down, breathing. And why am I doing chair? Because I want to do revolve chair. So on the exhale, we're going to twist to the left, taking your right tricep down to your thigh, your left thigh. And the palms are pushing together and the left elbow's up in the sky. Just breathe. Exhale back to center. Deep breath in and exhale, twisting to the right. I actually can sit a little bit lower when I twist than when I'm not twisted. Of course, I'm twisted all the time. Inhale back to center. Exhale out. Inhale, power up. And exhale, fold. And we're going to go ahead and take the left foot back.
Turning that foot to 45 degrees. Make sure your right knee is stacked over your ankle.
Inhale, we're gonna rise into warrior two. Making sure the body is at center. And we're looking out over the right hand or to your side if your neck's bothering you. Just breathe. And remember, if your back foot starts to come up off the mat, just roll your pinky toe out towards the back of your mat, and that should adjust it. On the exhale, we're going to take the right arm down to the right leg. Bring the left arm straight up or over into Parsvakonasana, side angle. So we're a little bit twisted here, not too much. Looking up or down depending on your neck, how it's feeling. And then I'm going to inhale, coming back up into warrior two, and I'm going to grab my block and put it over in front of me. So let's release the hands, kind of shake the legs out a little bit. If you want your block for revolved wide leg standing forward bend, go ahead and get it. If you don't use it and you just put your hand to the floor, that's fine. So let's take the legs out to a comfortable but challenging width. The toes are turned in, so you've got your outside edges of your feet parallel. On the inhale, we'll bring the arms up. On the exhale, we'll fold. Keeping the knees soft. And then if you want the block or you're just going to use the floor, that's fine. We're going to bring the left hand to the center of the block or to the floor. And on the inhale, we're going to open up to the right into revolved wide leg standing forward bend. So there we go, being twisty again. It's all good. So again, looking up or down, always listen to your neck. And then we'll exhale the right hand down, replacing the left hand in the middle of the floor or the block. And inhale, open to the left. And remember, one side's going to be easier than the other. For me, it's easier to open to the right. So just, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Exhale that hand down. And letting your head lead you. On the inhale, we're going to rise back up. Palms come together, hands into your heart. We're going to turn the left foot to the back of the room. The right foot will go to 45 degrees. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, we're going to lunge into warrior two. And take a minute, look at your knee, make sure it's stacked over your ankle. And your body is at center. And I know it's really hard to tell if your body is at center because you're by yourself. I can see now because I can see myself, obviously, on the video. But a lot of times, the way you can tell is if your hand is leaning forward and your hip right here is hinged over, you're too far. So then just kind of adjust back. You should feel like you're standing straight up. But, don't worry about it because there's nobody standing there going, oh, your body's not at center. On the exhale, let's drop the left arm to the left leg and bring the right arm up or over, coming into side angle. Just breathing. And we're going to inhale, coming back up. Release the arms. Shake the legs out. Sometimes they get a little crazy there with the legs. Whew. All right. So we're going to take the feet out wide, but this time the toes are going to point out that way and the heels are pointing in. We're going to bring the arms up into cactus or goalpost. On the exhale, we're going to squat down into goddess. And then, since it is Twisty Tuesday, we're going to do a little twist. So what I like to do is just use my knees as leverage. So as I twist, see if I can do this. It's been a hot minute, so hang on. Okay, so we're gonna twist this way, which is to the right, and then we're gonna twist to the left and to the right, and you can have one hand on each knee and twist to the left, or you can have one hand on your tummy, but it works better if you do it this way. Just twisting away, and you're basically pushing against the opposing knee as you twist. So I'm pushing against my left as I twist right, pushing against my right as I twist left. Coming back to center, inhale, let's power up, release. Now I've got to turn this fan back on because when we got home today, the heat was on. You know, it's that time in Oklahoma where the heat's on in the morning and the air conditioner's on in the afternoon. Yeah. Okay, so for balance tonight, being that it's Twisty Tuesday, we're going to do eagle pose. So let's find our focal point. We're going to start on a bent left leg. When you're ready, you're going to bring the right leg around, and you can just rest your toes on the floor if that's what's good for you. Not everybody can reach all the way around. Or you can bring your foot to the back of your leg. Sit back and down. Breathe. Okay. Left arm's going to come up. Right arm's going to come under. Palms together. Backs of your hands. Hug yourself. Dream a genie. Whatever is in your wheelhouse, just keep your focus and keep your breath. And remember, the further back and down you sit, just like in chair pose, the sturdier you're going to be. Your thighs are pushing together to hug the midline of your body. When you're ready, release your arms, release your legs, and of course in a balancing pose, that's very individual. Some of us can hold a balancing pose for a long time. Others are constantly falling out of it. So if you fall out of it, remember to build it from scratch. Don't try and pop back in because you'll just keep falling out. Okay, find your focal point again. When you're ready, coming onto a bent right leg and bringing the left either around with the toes to the mat or all the way around. Sitting down, the right arm's going to come up, the left arm's going to come under or hug, and breathe. Yeah, not only is this twisty for the arms and the legs, but it opens up the shoulders really nice on the back side, not the front side. Then we'll release. Now we're all twisted. Okay, so we're going to descend to the mat through garland pose, and then we're going to revolve that. So if garland pose is not in your wheelhouse, you can either come down through downward facing dog or just gently to the mat, whichever way you want. So take the feet out to about hip width apart, turn the toes out, and so the heels will point in towards one another. Bring the palms into Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. On the exhale, we're going to sit down, coming into garland. So I'm going to move the phone down so that you can see me better. There we go. I need somebody to come move my phone for me. Your heels might be lifted or they could be set down on the mat. That's very individual. But as we go in to revolve this, your heels may lift even if you started off with them on the mat. That's what mine do. And that's fine. I mean, there's nothing that says your heels have to stay on the mat. So we're just pushing the triceps into the legs. And then I'm going to come up more onto the balls of my feet. I'm going to take my left arm out really wide. And then I'm going to open up, revolving to the right. Revolving my garland pose or malasana. Taking that right arm up to the sky. Then we're going to exhale that arm down, bringing the tricep back to the leg and taking that hand out wide, and then the left arm's going to go up. And again, one side's going to be easier than the other. I'm going to back up a little bit. And in my case, the right side is easier to revolve because I get a little catch right here, but that's all right. And then we'll exhale that down as well. I'm going to get my blanket to cushion my knees. Set that out. So I've got my blanket folded in half instead of the traditional thirds that we use when we put them away. Ooh. So I'm going to go ahead and get a block. I'm going to put that down on the low side, on the left side of my mat. I'm going to bring my right foot and leg out to 90 degrees. And then I'm going to keep the left knee on the mat. I'm going to bring my left hand to the block. And I'm going to reach back with my right hand and grab my left foot and pull my heel up towards my buns and open my chest up to the right into lizard pose. So this is a variation of lizard. Remember, if your knee starts to splay out, just move your foot towards the outside of your mat. Breathe. And then exhale, release, and we're going to switch to the other side. Now, when you do this, you may not be able to get your foot all the way up to your buns, and that's okay, because remember, you do the best you can and don't worry about the rest. Not everybody can do that. For me, it feels super good to pull my foot all the way up, but some people aren't going to get that far. And if you can't reach your foot in this, you could always do this with a strap. You'd have to do a little setup, but you could do it. All right, so now we have the left leg out and it's at 90 degrees. My right hand is to the block, which is now out of the picture. And I grab my right foot with my left hand, pull up and open my chest. You can have your hand flat to the block. Whoops, there I am. Or you can be up on your fingertips if that's more comfortable. But we want to get as much of a twist as we can and really open up the chest. And of course, keep breathing. And then we'll exhale and release. Gonna move the block off to the side. Gonna move this back here a little bit. Another block. Okay. So we're gonna come onto all fours and we're going to make sure that the wrists are under the shoulders and the fingers are spread nice and wide. And then we're going to take the right leg up to the sky. So your foot is going to be pointed towards the ceiling. Ooh, I got a cramp. Your knee is going to be about level with your hip, really. This is called tiger pose. So we want to push into the palms so that lifts the chest and the shoulders so that you're not sinking down. And just breathe. Nice deep breaths, because this is going to go into a power lift. So if you are not able to do what's coming next, that's fine. Just improvise the best you can. So as we breathe in tiger pose, we're going to prepare to go into three-leg down dog. So we're going to turn the toes of the left foot under. We're going to take a deep breath in and push up into our three-leg down dog. Nice deep breaths. And then we're going to exhale and bring that knee to the top of the mat, coming into pigeon. So here in pigeon, if you want to reach back and do a thigh stretch, feel free to do so. You can do mermaid if you want, or you can just keep your back leg extended, making sure that you're resting on your right shin. If you're having any issues coming onto the hip, then put a block or a bolster under there. When you're ready, you can come down to resting either on your forearms or block or bolster, stacked fist, whatever's good for you. Keeping your hips balanced out with the mat. Just breathing into this. Then we'll come back up onto the palms. Turn the toes of the back foot under. We're going to move back into our three-leg down dog. Set that foot back down on the mat and come back down onto hands and knees. So once again, you're going to adjust your wrist underneath your shoulders. And then, let's see, we had the right leg up. Okay, so now we're going to take the left leg up to the sky and again, push into your palms to come up out of your shoulders. I really just need to move back a little bit more because I keep going off camera. It's kind of hard to do. This room is so small, but I think it works better with my mat diagonal like this than when I was coming straight at you. That was probably a little freaky, especially when my feet or buns got there. Breathe. Turn the toes of the right foot under. Inhale, pushing up into your 3-leg down dog. And then exhale. Bringing the left knee to the top of your mat, coming into pigeon. And again, if you want to do a thigh stretch or mermaid, feel free to do so. And once again, I'm out of the screen. Okay. And then you can come down to rest. So, you can use a block. You can stack your fists on top of each other. I like to, if I'm going to be in it for a while, I like to take the bolster down the midline of my body and do it that way. It's nice. Just breathe, leveling out the hips with the mat. Then we'll come back up onto the palms, turn the toes of the back foot under, moving back into your 3-leg down dog, and then setting that foot down on the mat. Then we're going to inhale, coming out into plank. Adjust your feet back and towards one another, so in towards one another. Push into your palms. Exhale the knees down to the mat. You can either come down through 8-point, which I know a lot of people have trouble with, or you can shift back and then come down onto your belly. Because now we're going to do the pose that I flipped the little cube for earlier, which is cobra pose. So we're going to bring the hands to the base of the chest. Make sure your elbows are glued in. Tops of the feet are flat, the knees are lifted. Let the breath and your hands raise and lower you. And your movement may be exaggerated like mine, or it may be quite small. That depends on how you breathe and how your belly inflates. Then we'll exhale down, drop your knees, push back up onto all fours, and you can come into child's pose or happy puppy. Whichever you prefer tonight. Just resting and breathing. And then we'll exhale and walk the hands back in, coming down to seated. Okay, so once we are seated, I kind of move things out of the way here. I start to run into my props. We're going to extend the legs fully onto the mat, making sure the feet are flexed. We're going to pull the buns out from under us, butt luggage, bringing the hands down by the side, relaxing the shoulders and sitting up nice and straight. Nice and tall in Dandasana. Just breathe. As we prepare to go into our seated forward bend, if you need to widen your legs out, go ahead. You can go as wide as the width of the mat if you want. On the inhale, we'll take the arms up, and they'll be shoulder width apart with the palms facing each other. Lengthen, and exhale, fold. Taking your hands to wherever you're comfortable tonight. Try to keep your back flat, your neck neutral. Remember, it's not about reaching your toes. It's about what you learn on the way down. Because yoga is about the journey, and it is a journey. It has no destination. I've been practicing now since 2006. So, oops, I touched my face. That's 14 years. So I'm in my 14th year. And it's still quite a journey. Every day is different. I never know what I'm going to get. Some days the practice comes easy. Some days it beats your butt. And you just go, why am I even here? I've had days like that. Not often, but when you do, you just have to walk away from the mat at the end of the practice and go, you know what? Tomorrow's going to be better. Because a lot of it depends on mood and the poses you're doing, your instructor, etc. But I have had a few of those days where it just beat my rear end and I thought, ugh, that was horrible. But the next day, it was all better. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. On the exhale, we're going to walk the hands back in. Let's bring the right foot to the outside of the left leg. You can keep your left leg extended or swing it back so that that heel is now by your right hip. Then I'm going to take the right hand behind me. I'm going to inhale the left arm up, and I'm going to exhale and twist to the right into Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. Use your back hand for light support, and you can look either to your side or over your right shoulder for a deeper twist. But keep breathing no matter what. And then we'll exhale and turn forward, extending the right leg, bringing the left foot to the outside of that leg. And then if you want to swing that leg back, you can. Still not real good on my knee, so I'm going to keep the leg extended and the foot flexed. Left hand behind you. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale and twist. See, we're just twisty all over the place. Yeah. There's a saying that you're only as young as your spine is flexible. So that's one of the reasons why I like twists so much. Besides the fact that I think they feel good, it helps with the flexibility of your spine. Some people say it wrings out your internal organs, so all those toxins that build up in there just are gone, bye-bye. But always make sure you do a tall spine when you twist, because you want that equal amount of distance between each vertebra so you're not compacting. And then we'll exhale, turn forward. We're going to go ahead and extend the left leg out as if we were coming into wide leg seated forward bend. And we're going to bring the right foot to the inside of the thigh or to the shin if you need a little more distance. Okay. Make sure your buns are pulled out, which is not always easy in this, but you should be able to. We're going to take the left hand down to the left shin. Rest your elbow gently wherever it kind of lands. And then we're going to take the right hand onto the low back with the palm facing out. We're going to inhale and lengthen. So notice I was compressed. We're going to lengthen out the spine because then we're going to rotate the chest to the ceiling in revolved head to knee. And once you get to this position, you can look up or you can look down. That's up to you. Always listen to your neck. If you are so inclined, you can take your right arm up and over, if that feels good. To me, this does not feel good at all. So I'm going to keep my hand on my low back and just focus on keeping my chest open. That's what this pose is about, getting the chest open. And the twist. Keep the breath going. And then look down to your left leg. If your arm is extended overhead, go ahead and bring it back to your lower back. And then we're going to come on up and switch everything out. So now the right leg is going to be extended out like we would be sitting in wide leg seated forward bend. The left foot is going to come to the inside of the thigh or further down the leg. Just remember, in anything that you're doing, whether it's standing, seated, whatever, always avoid your knee because you don't want to, and then you hyperextend. You know, accidents happen, especially with me. I do my own stunts. Yeah. And sometimes it's not intentional. All right, bring the right hand down to the shin. The left hand will go to the low back, palms out. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, rotate. And sometimes it is intentional. I forget what I tripped over today. Oh, I was taking the trash can back at work to the back of the office, and I tripped over the parking bumper. Oops. And they probably got it on camera next door because ARA has cameras pointing to that wall. But, you know, y'all all know I'm a klutz, so. Who else could hit herself in the face with her strap? Only me. And again, if you want to extend your arm, you can. Just breathe. But I don't really like that because I feel like I lose the stretch. If your arm is extended, go ahead and bring the hand back to your low back. Look down to your right leg. And we're going to exhale coming up. Let's bring the feet to the width of the mat and flat. Grab hold of the knees and we're going to pull up into birthing baby asana. That's what I call it. Because I'm a little bit on the nutty side. But I'm lovable, so it's all good. All right, then we're going to release. And we're going to get ready to come down onto our backs. Yep. Okay, so once you're down on your back, ooh, yikes. That feels really good. Make sure your strap is nearby. Should have told you that before we came down onto the back. Let's bring the feet flat to the mat, and then go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. You can either cross your ankles and rock in cradle rock, or you can come into happy baby, which I think by this point y'all all know what that is. Just massage your back. Oh, that feels so good. And you can go at whatever pace you want when you're rocking like this. If you like to go super slow so that you can really roll around on the spots that don't feel good, then do that. It's your practice. You know, if you like to go a little bit faster, that's okay too. Just don't start going so fast that you kind of lose the benefit. Then we'll come to a stop, uncross the ankles, grab your strap, and take it around the balls of your feet. Inhale, we're going to take the legs up into reverse pose. The feet are flexed, and we've got one end of the strap in each hand. Just breathe. That feels heavenly. Just to have that weight on my low back. Yeah. Then you want to exhale, taking your legs out to the width of the strap. And if you want to rock here, feel free to do so. I think this one feels even better than cradle rock because it's a bit of a different rock. Where you have to be careful with this one is it's very easy to rock all the way over. So I try to have my elbow ready as I'm going from side to side so that that is my stopper and I don't go too far. But if you do, then just laugh at yourself and move on. Let's come back to center, bring the feet back together, take the left leg down onto the mat, and keep the right foot in the strap. Left arm goes out to the side of the body, and on the exhale, we're going to take the right leg down to the right. Once again, making any kind of adjustments, as I've discussed in previous lives videos. If you need to adjust your buns, bring your left foot flat, lift the lower body,
set the buns back down, and then extend the left leg once again. You can hold your right leg up with the strap and your elbow, or you can release it to the floor if your body will allow you to do that. If not, you could always rest on a block, which I think there's one right there, yep, or a bolster. You just have to set it up in advance, which is helpful if you know what the instructor's going to do, or you're going to do if you're practicing on your own. But play with it, because sometimes you don't know what you're doing. You just start doing it, and that's cool. Inhale, let's bring that leg up. Switch the ends of the strap into the left hand. Right arm goes out to the side, and we're going to exhale the leg across to the left. When you're doing this, reclining hand to big toe with the strap, you can look up to the ceiling, or you can look over the shoulder of the extended arm. That way it gives you a little bit more of a twist. And hopefully you are feeling this in your glute, your hip, your low back, and hopefully it feels good. I learned a long time ago never to say how a student should feel a pose, like it should feel good or not feel good. Hopefully it feels good. Then we'll inhale the right leg up, bring the left leg up into the strap, take the right leg down onto the mat, right arm out to the side, and on the exhale, we're going to release that left leg down. I'm going to adjust my buns and then extend my right leg out. So now my legs are kind of almost in an L shape. Your leg that's extended to the side may not be able to go that far, so you may be more like a V shape, and that's cool. Always listen to your body. Never push it to a point that you shouldn't be. And of course, keep breathing. Then we'll inhale that leg up, switch the ends of the strap into the right hand, the left arm out to the side, and exhale that leg across to the right. Yeah. Good stuff. Then we'll inhale the leg up, bend the knee, release the strap, and we're going to bring the left foot flat to the mat, and then we're going to bring the right foot flat to the mat. So we're going to go ahead and bring the right ankle onto the left thigh, reaching the right arm through and the left arm to the outside. Let's inhale, bringing the left leg into the body. And if you want to twist yourself up in this, you can take one hand to each foot, make yourself into a little pretzel, if that's what feels good. You can stay here in eye of the needle. You can go into dead pigeon or resting pigeon, whichever you prefer. And if you really want to get a deeper stretch, you can bring the right ankle down into the left hip flexor. That's about as deep as it's going to get. And hopefully at some point I'll be able to do that again, but not right now. Then we'll go ahead and exhale the left foot down to the mat, cross the right leg over, arms out to the side, and on the exhale we're going to twist down to the left. Adjust the shoulders so that they're as flat to the mat as possible, and then look up to the ceiling or over your right shoulder. Cross leg spinal twist. And a simple adjustment, if you feel like things aren't relaxing enough, just release that bottom leg very slightly, and that should allow your hips to relax more. Now my whole face is starting to itch. Ugh! Allergies. Driving me crazy. Keep those deep breaths going. Then we'll inhale the legs up, uncross them. Let's bring the left ankle onto the right knee, and we're going to inhale that right leg in. And once again, if you want to pretzel yourself, if that's what feels good, go for it. If you want to stay in the eye of the needle, that's fine. If you want to go into resting pigeon, that's fine. If you want to pull the ankle down into the hip flexor, you wouldn't be in resting pigeon then. That's fine as well. Make it your own. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, you keep the breath going. That's important. Then we're going to go ahead and set the right foot down on the mat. Cross the left leg over, arms out to the side, and exhale, twist to the right. So again, adjusting your shoulders. The easiest way for me to do that is kind of push the back of my head into the mat, and I can lift my upper back and then adjust my shoulders down. You can always take the hand that's opposite of the leg that's on top to that top leg for extra support, just to kind of push it down a little. That gives you a little bit of an extra stretch. So in this case, it would be my right hand to my left knee, or you can leave your arms extended. And I'm going to look over my left shoulder because it feels good. Keep that breath going. Then we'll inhale the knees up, uncross the legs, and now that we're sufficiently twisted, you guys are going to go into Shavasana. So go ahead and get whatever you need for whatever version of rest you're going to have tonight. You can go into Shavasana, you can go into legs up the wall, you can go into reverse Shavasana, whichever you want. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little timer here. Start my little gong. So you want to go ahead and take your legs out to the width of the mat. Let the feet and ankles roll out to the side of your body. Arms down by your side. Or you can rest your hands on top of one another on your belly. Close your eyes. Bring your breath back to its natural rhythm. And just rest down into the mat. Focus on your breath. Try to keep your thoughts at a minimum. This is not a time for worry or stress or thinking about what's for dinner or what chores you have to do. This is a time for you to just rest.
let's start to come gently out of Shavasana. Getting some movement back into our bodies. When you're ready, rolling to one side and resting for a breath or two before coming gently back to seated. The whole time y'all were in it, I was trying not to cough. Horrible. All right, as we come back into easy pose, Sukhasana, let's bring the hands into Anjali Mudra. My final thought for tonight is that our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising each time that we do fall. And I think that this is very important right now because we as a country and really globally, we're falling, you know. I see a lot of it out there. And so when this is all said and done, we will rise again. We will rise as individuals. We will rise as couples. We will rise as businesses. We will rise as governments. And we will rise as a world. So that'll be our greatest glory, and we will get there. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it, or if you're watching the video later. And we'll do it again probably on Thursday. So remember, stay twisted. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.